Welcome back to the pink envelope. Welcome to my mess. I have literally, well, you guys can only actually see a part of it. It's all up here, all over here, and all the way underneath y'all down there. Fall stuff. And what I want to do is walk through how I store my home decor. I'll use fall for this example, and how I sort my home decor. I think the big thing that a lot of us are running into, especially you guys who have been with me since 2018-19 and have been getting home decor boxes, 2 or 3 boxes every single season for 2 or 3 years, we have reached a point where it is crucial for us to move some items out while new items are coming in. So I really wanted to chat about that. I literally busted out my handy dandy notebook. I've got my notes again. I feel very organized in my thoughts whenever I do it this way. And I also have been reading y'all's comments on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook where you're hitting some pain points on, this is my 3rd or 4th year to get fall home decor. I've got too many things. What should I do? So it's like, we can address that. When I'm coming in to tackle a season, so I do this at least 4 times a year. I'll explain this later, but actually it's technically more around 8 times a year. I have a very specific process that I follow. It is very important to me to not hold on to things that I don't need, that I don't love. There's a multitude of reasons for this. I'm robbing somebody else's blessing. Like literally by me paying this item forward in whatever manner, whether I'm selling it, donating it, whatever, I am being blessed by sharing something with someone else. And the person who purchases, receives the item is blessed. And by holding on to it, because I might need it someday at some time, robs that blessing from myself and from them. And so I have most of my summer already packed away. So I've already done this process for my summer cleanup. You're going to need to walk through with my fall layout. When I go to decorate fall, what I do. And there are a few things that I consider most importantly. Consider your space. Knowing what you want to decorate and what you don't want to decorate is very, very important. For me, I decorate all the things, like quite literally all the things. So I'm decorating this living room. I'm decorating my entry. I sprinkle some decor in my office. I sprinkle some decor in my kitchen. I pretty heavily decorate my laundry / washroom / mudroom. I heavily decorate my dining room, my master bedroom. So embarrassing, actually. If y'all hear like saws and construction noise in the background, that is because my dear sweet husband is working on custom bathroom cabinets for me right now, and I'm not about to ask him to stop, so we're just gonna embrace the sound, the beautiful sounds of cutting and saws, because hopefully we get that master bedroom bathroom done, which will be my next space I heavily decorate. Write out the rooms you want to decorate. What spaces are you going to decorate? Are you even going to hang things on your hallway? Put them down. I decorate indoors and outdoors, and here's a little tip for you. When I first get an item, I think I got this in 2019 from Undecorating. It's a tray. When I first got this item, it was level 10 importance, like the most important. There were not things more important to this. This is very important. But a year later in 2020, it was like an 8. Maybe a 6, depending on what I was doing, but it was still important. Then by 2021, it was like a 4 or 6 on importance, like it started dropping. And now in 2022, it's like, I don't know, a 1, 2, 3. Nothing's wrong with it. It is in mint condition. It has been to HE double hockey sticks and back. Kids have played with it. It has served things. It has hung on the wall. I've just used it enough where I need to decide, is this something that I want to hold on to because I love it? Is it time for me to get rid of it? We'll discuss ways to get rid of things. Or do I put it outside and know it's just going to get messed up? That is something I'm a big believer in, and I want you guys to noodle. Things you put outside that aren't meant to be outside will get messed up. But if this is down to a level 1 through 3 on importance, because I've had it for several years and I've way gotten my dollar's worth out of it, this would be really cute to be a serving tray outside, and it may only last 1 season. That's okay. It got enjoyed that entire time during that season. So contemplate making a pile of stuff that you love but don't want to get rid of that maybe gets upgraded to the outdoor space. This leads me to point 2. Flip the page. So proud of my notes. Oh, he's sanding. I don't know if you can hear the sander, but he is sanding something. The most beautiful music to my ears. Point 2, sort your items while you're decorating and undecorating. Like I said earlier, I've already sorted my summer items because as I took down summer to start preparing to do things for fall with you guys, I went to that bin and was like, what items are still in there? What items did I struggle to place? What items did I place? And then every time I walked by them, I was like, meh. Be willing to step in at the end of a season and really figure out which items you appreciated. And then make piles. I like to sell things and donate things at the beginning of seasons. You can do it whenever, and we will dive into the buying, selling, donating in just a second. But get those items set aside. And then as you're bringing out fall or bringing out your next season, start decorating, start using the items, start placing the items. If you notice you're carrying something around over and over and you don't have a spot for it, it does not matter how beautiful it is. It does not matter how gorgeous it is. It's time for it to find a new family, and you can bless someone with that gorgeous item. Put it in the pile. Be willing to really go through and decorate piece by piece and take those leftover items or items that are too hard to decorate with in your current space and put it in the pile. Then start packing away. So you're packing away summer, you're packing away what should be your empty fall because you're not going to pack things away you're not going to use just in case another year from now you might want to use them. And really if you're struggling, who's the Marie Kondo, remember she was popular for like a hot second, like a boy band. I don't even know if she's around anymore. But something that resonated with me that she said that I was just like, yes, is what sparks joy. If you seeing that item sparks joy, you're going to find a place for it. You're not going to have an item that sparks joy that you're like, I don't know what to do with it, and you throw it back in the bin. So if you can use that as a rating for how to keep things, I think that would be great. I like to let my family vote. A lot of the decorating I do is for myself, but when my kids walk in or my husband walk in and go, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Everything changes. Everything changes. I love everything so much more. So if I'm feeling torn about something, I'll be like, hey, what's a great example? Hey, mommy has had this wreath for years. I look at this wreath and it brings me joy. I love it. But when y'all see it, what do y'all think? And they will lean in. No, I think it's creepy, or I'm tired of looking at it, or oh, I love it too. And that will help me be intentional on knowing this wreath that I've had for 6 years. Do I keep it, or is it time for it to go? Or they'll tell me, mommy, that's super beat up. Like, you're not seeing it, but it doesn't look as pretty as you remember it being. And so I definitely need to family and friends for that. I also take mental note. If I have this wreath and I'm like, I don't know where to place it. I'm out of space. I don't know where to place it. But my friend such and such always comments on that. I'm going to set it aside for her. It's going to bless me so much to give it to her, and it's going to be a blessing for her to receive it. So there's actually a lot of really creative ways as you're decorating, repacking, and unpacking to create and sort piles. Okay, at this point, you have considered your space that you're going to decorate. You have sorted and started decorating. Once you're finished decorating and your sort pile is completely done, and that might look like two different things. The pile of stuff to get rid of and the pile of stuff that is somehow out, even though it's outside of the season. Like right on this overside over here, I have an orange blanket that's like a summer blanket, hardcore, a pillow that says Texas and all these bright colors. It's summer. It gotta go. So we will put those away in the appropriate bins so that when we need them, we know where they're at. They're in the right spot. No need to keep them out. The pile that we are ready to get rid of, we're going to dive into that right now, early in the season, while everybody's actively shopping these items. And this is why sometimes when I do end of season clear outs, I don't instantly sell the items. I just pack them away. Typically, I take Trader Joe's bags, the paper bags, and put all of the items in there that I know I want to donate. Staple the top and write donate real big or sell real big on the bag. And then I store it. And then when the season comes along and I pull out my bins, I already don't have to make that decision. I've already made the decision that this stuff is to be sold. And I list it immediately applicable to the season and people are ready to purchase. And there are a few different ways for you to get rid of items. Here are the top 3 popular ways we all agreed on. 1, just donate it. Find a nonprofit that you want to get behind and support and donate your items. They will give you a receipt. You can mark it down and write it off on your taxes. I don't know how to do any of that. I just know it can be done. 2, gift it to someone. So if it's an item that is lightly used or maybe it's never been used because it wasn't your style, keep it in a box. I have a gift box that I keep at any point. So if a friend has a baby or they get married or they get engaged or they buy a house or they're having a really sucky day or we're just going to brunch and bringing a gift will be fun, I just go over there, pull something out, wrap it up and take it. It is so much fun to surprise people with gifts. So have a gift basket. And 3 is sell it. And you can sell it in a multitude of different ways. You can join some of the, what are they called? The beg, borrow, buy pages that are on Facebook. There's literally thousands of them. You can join any generic ones and list your stuff. We do have subscription box specific groups. Down below in my description, I have those groups listed if you want to join them and start selling your items there. Local resale stores that you can put on consignment. And then there's tons of apps on your phone, on the computer, like First Dibs, 5 Mile, Craigslist, eBay, Mercari, OfferUp. Have a garage sale. You could literally, if you have enough stuff like I did the other day, you can have yourself a garage sale. And get those items out. Get some money back in. Get some space back in. It is so freeing to pay it forward and to bless somebody with something that you once loved so much so you know the value is there, you know it's amazing. And not just hold on to it till one day you look up and you're like, look at all these gorgeous things literally suffocating me, closing in around me. And so right now, all of our fall boxes are shipping in. We have a month and a half, 2 months, and then all of our winter Christmas boxes are gonna start shipping in. I want you to do this right now while you're putting out fall. I want you to do this again when you're packing up fall. What items just they weren't a match and they need to go. And then when you're pulling out winter, Christmas, Hanukkah, wherever you're at in there, do it again. Which items am I not using? Which items have I found myself not loving? And create these piles and take immediate actions. Get on a list at same day. Don't let that pile sit around. If you think you're someone who's gonna let a pile sit around, donate it. They'll give you a receipt right then and you can walk away because it will still rob your blessing even if it's a pile that has good intentions. Now it's time to practice what I preach. I'm gonna decorate for fall. So my full home fall decorate with me is coming next. I'm going to go through, do everything we just discussed, sell my stuff. I love to donate, so I am going to donate to some nonprofits here in San Antonio that make really big differences in people's lives. And then I'm gonna finish decorating. Then I'm gonna show you guys, I really wanna show you my bins. Let me just show you my bins now. Okay, I had to clean up a little bit before I could show you bins clearly. This is how I started with bins. I do not recommend this. It is crazy, misshapen, mismatched, can't stack, and it's just not cute. Whereas if you look at the bins over here, which is where I am now, and I have, I think 30 of these at this point, they're easily labeled on both sides and the top. They're clear, so you can just look in and see what's inside. They're very easy to stack. These are the Sterilite 110 quart. I love them. Don't overpack them because they can get extremely heavy. So be using that bubble wrap and anything in the packing materials that come in your box to wrap up your items well as to add cushion and space within your boxes. And I put everything per season. So like Halloween, you'll see this is Thanks Fall, which means it's a mix of Thanksgiving and fall. I have a Thanksgiving bin and a fall bin as well. But you can use like a fancy Cricut. We have a Cricut and we could Cricut some beautiful things on here. But since I am constantly sorting, donating, selling, what goes in each bin flexes. Right now I have 3 Halloween bins, which is crazy. I have never had that many. In the past, I've only had 2. And if I would have adhered a Cricut label on there, it'd have been permanent. So I just use paper and a pen. That works really well for me. And then as great as these are, keeping consistent with your bins saves you space, saves you money, saves you stress, keeps things organized, and it looks good. So I have linked these below. I think, and this is like totally me guessing, bins, even though they're all by Sterilite, the company who's selling them depends on the sizing. So I buy almost all of my bins from Target. They always have them in stock. They always have the 110 quart Sterilite bins. So I grab them from Target. If you don't have a Target nearby or you don't feel like going, I have linked below the equivalent Sterilite bin that I would recommend that you can recreate this look. One of the things that is super great about these bins is they're so big. One of the things that is really not so great about these bins is that they are so big. So really do be cognizant of how much you put in there. I do have like some of these that are a good old team lift. I have to have my husband. Those are also ones that I don't hoist up into the attic. I try to make sure my weight is distributed equally. Some of the heavier ones I put on my storage rack in the garage, or I put them on the floor under the stair. So you can kind of weigh them out, because some of them, like this top Halloween one, is paper light. It's perfect to go up in the attic. And so when you're packing your bins, distribute your stuff so that you don't put a bunch of heavy stuff in one bin and light in another. That's a really big tip I had to learn the hard way. I do have, and this will be a little bit different for you guys, the wire rack. So the wire rack is where I actively work from with the stuff you guys see me use all the time. So the wire rack is always like more neutral items. It's always out. These are items I grab and go when I'm doing decorate with me's. I don't know if that's something that would be fun for you guys, something nice for you guys to have. I keep the wire rack in the garage. Sure, we get some dust on some stuff sometimes, but it easily wipes off and it's no problem. I've never had anything break. I do not put meltable things out there, like candles or fragile things go under the stairs where they're protected, or in a storage, like the gray storage unit in my entry. But that rack is really great. I have linked that rack down below if you're like, yes, I would like to have something like that. Maybe you have a storage unit in your backyard that you want to put a rack in, or once again, I have it in the garage and it works really, really well for me. If you're like, hey, I don't want to do the Tupperware thing, I don't want to do the bin thing, you can just keep the boxes. So when I first started, I just used my boxes. And you'll see I have a lot of boxes from past seasons. You literally can just take these boxes. They already have the packing materials in there, which by the way, I never throw away the packing materials. But this is another option if you're wanting more budget friendly and maybe less cumbersome, like not having to go to the store and order, although I'll link below my favorite Tupperware bins to store in. I do not store my art cards in the bins. I have envelopes like vanilla, is it manila or vanilla? Those envelopes, and I keep all the different art cards in those, and I keep those inside in a file cabinet. So I pull them out each season along with the booklets, and I can play with all those things. I feel like when they get put in here with the heat and the pressure, they get, I don't know, just colored and they stick together, and they just seem to do well in my file cabinet at work. I do have a tendency to store by type. So down here you'll see a bunch of live dried things. These are all things that are dried. They were live at one point. They could crunch easily. They crackle easily. They're messy. So I keep them together here. This long, narrow guy I actually do use for my florals. Now you can see these peach florals are way, way too long. But your average stem actually fits in quite nicely. Like you can see this one would fit in at an angle. And I keep a lot of my long stem items in this guy. Okay, I think that's it. Did I miss anything? Were there any specific questions that you had that maybe I didn't address? I'll be watching the notes on this one really, really closely. I have links below for any products that I've mentioned, like the bins that I prefer, the wire rack that I prefer. I really am hoping that this video kind of helps you see how I organize things. And I get a ton of stuff, like a ton of stuff every single season. And I don't struggle with the overwhelm when I remember to take these steps. It's when I just kind of breeze past it a season. Then when I come back around, I'm like, oh, why'd I do that? So I do highly encourage doing it at the beginning of the season and into the season. I promise you won't regret it. Regret it. Make sure you do join those Facebook groups below and then join those third-party apps. I don't know which one's better. I'm sure where you live, it varies. Okay. like legit, now that I've filmed this with you guys, I'm going to decorate my whole entire house. I have a little mini vlog coming with that. Basically, the last video I did, which you can watch that video up here, I showed you each individual box and a setting you can do, or some of them had 2, 3, or 4 settings you could do with those items. Now I'm going to mix and match them all together, decorate my entry. I have a tiered tray, or maybe even 2 tiered trays. I'm going to decorate, of course, my mantle, my dining room, my mud room. Nothing in the bath master side yet, as we have got that really gutted. But hopefully by January 2023, I'm showcasing my master. Oh, and my patio. I'll show you my new patio. It always looks so cute out there. All right, you guys, I hope this is helpful. I hope that this blesses you as you're moving into getting your new boxes. And if you subscribe to the channel, I'm going to see you guys later. Bye, y'all.